YouTube, how's it going everybody? Welcome Dimash Dears especially. I wanted to try out a type of video where I go into an arrangement of a song and look in detail at the parts. That means I'm going to go into the arrangement and pick out the parts and show you guys actually how the music is built. If you're a musician, if you're kind of just starting out, this could be helpful to you. This could let you see how tracks are built. Maybe you've got a band and you're looking to enhance how the band come across live. You're looking to build some dynamics in your set. This could help you. I think it's just going to be interesting for you to look at how music is built, the tricks that a musician will use to communicate with his or her audience. So the track I'm going to use is a track by the vocalist Dimash. So I've watched it a couple of times now. I've wrote myself down a few notes. I'm going to dive straight in now and we're going to open it up and look at each section, and it'll be a little insight into how music is built, hopefully for you guys. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are finding it, and I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, baby! Okay, here we go.
Международного конкурса исполнителей эстрадной песни
The Grand Prix
2015 Dimash Kudaibergen, Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. There's the man. Right, here we go. And he's anticipating. Let's stop that there for a minute. That must be the shortest introduction known to mankind ever. We're in the key of B minor. Let me get my guitar. So we're in the key of B minor. It's not just B minor, there is an added A in there, which is called a B minor 7, which is a little bit more tension in there than just your normal grounded B minor. B minor 7, a short crescendo on the string pad as the introduction. That's all it is. But what that does, it creates a nice space for a delicate entrance. It establishes a melancholic tone and creates almost an ethereal atmosphere, right? It's restrained, it's allowing for maximum impact when the vocals begin. Let's have a listen to it again. Listen out for that A in the chord. Yeah, B minor 7. You hear it? Verse 1, real delicate vocal, intimate, breathy. Controlled vibrato, let's stop it for a second there. As far as the structure goes, I'm calling that verse 1. In music, what you call a certain part can change depending on who you are, but I'm going to call that section verse 1. It establishes a theme. Intimate, breathy, almost speech-like delivery. Enhances the emotional quality. Lots of breath in there, okay? The accompaniment, piano, arpeggiated chords, creating a real exposed vocal moment. Now, if you listen very carefully with the piano, there is also a very slight keyboard pad underneath, just adding a little bit of ethereal texture to the overall theme. Now, the next section that comes in, the tension starts building, as we'll see. Let's have a little look. Okay, now this section I've called the pre-chorus. Tension's rising. Okay, now a very short pre-chorus, that's all it is. Chord-wise in the pre-chorus, we have a B minor, a G, an F sharp 7 sus 4 to an F sharp 7. Now lots of tension, even in that last chord, the sus 4 creates tension to a resolve, but there's still tension there, it's not resolved. back to that B minor, yeah, okay. Let's listen back to the vocals in that pre-chorus. So you can hear him building emotional intensity into that vocal. Now, in that pre-chorus, as far as arrangement devices are concerned, we've got a strings crescendo and a cello tremolando, it's called. Now, tremolando is where you get your bow and you go very fast back and forward. Again, that creates tension too. It adds movement and emotional weight to that section. Now, if you also listen to the piano in that section, there's an addition of a lower register to the piano parts. Also, the bass guitar makes its entrance on the final F sharp chord. So the pre-chorus swells in intensity but doesn't fully resolve, keeping tension high. Pauses between each section also add to the tension. So far we've had 3 pauses. After the intro we've had a pause. After verse 1 we've had a pause. And after the pre-chorus we've had a pause. It's pausing each time. So the listener is anticipating what's coming next. Just a little arrangement trick, right? So let's listen back to that pre-chorus. I want to point out to you where the strings come in and that cello tremolando thing that's going on. Let's check that out. There. Very slight, very subtle. Now the chorus. Emotional release, right? More flow within the melody. Okay, let's stop it there for a second. We're still in the key of B minor. The whole track is in B minor. Another slight change with the chords in the chorus. We have a B minor down to a G. But then we've got this lovely, hopeful sounding D chord in there, which is the relative major of the B minor. The very first full chorus. Let's listen again and I'll point out 1 or 2 things that are in there. The texture is obviously filling out at this point. There are other things coming in. Now, the main instrumentation on this track throughout, we've got piano, which is the main accompaniment. We've got drums, we've got bass, we've got strings, we've got electric guitar, and we also got this synth pad. Apart from that, that's all there is in the arrangement, but it makes it sound epic. Let me put the chorus back and we'll have a little listen and I'll point out some things in the chorus for you. Before we jump into this chorus, listen out to his voice here. Now what he's got, he's balancing his chest and his head resonance. He starts off in this chest resonance and then what he's doing, he's ascending. The melody is rising. And it's creating another engagement with the listeners by introducing another melodic element. So far, the melody hasn't really risen so high, but it's jumping. You call that in triadic steps. So for example, it's called triadic because the 3 main notes repeat that form the chord. A 1, a minor 3, and a 5. Now those 3 notes, if I put a few of them together, it forms that B minor chord. So the melody is this triadic ascending melodic part, right? Which is not easy for a vocalist to sing. It's much easier for vocalists to sing parts that are conjunct. Now conjunct is melody that is together, the lines are together, so maybe. But this isn't together, it's jumping, right? Which is pretty hard to sing. As far as those high notes that he sings right at the end of the chorus, he's got an E5 to an F sharp 5. Now E5 to F sharp 5 is not easy to sing for a man. So let's listen out for some of that stuff as we go through this chorus. Let's check it out. Beautiful. Strings, piano, synth pads filling out the sound. Now the piano's creating counter motifs. Can you hear it? playing this counter melody. Again, that's to engage your ears. Now we've got this little tiny tail on the end, and then this E5 to F sharp 5. Now the main vocal hook in the song for me is this pentatonic riff. Now pentatonic, as you probably guessed, means 5. It's 5 notes, okay? In a pentatonic scale, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it repeats. Okay, so 5 notes. Now, that pentatonic scale is a traditional music device. It's used in traditional music all over the world. I've got down here verse 2 with a question mark because I'm not sure it is verse 2 because it's not the same as verse 1. So it is a new section. Maybe it's a middle 8, but it's not middle 8 because it's 15 bars long. Maybe it's just another section. What I have put down in brackets is development. So it's a development of the theme. It starts about 136. Now this section, for me, it's almost like a reflective contrast from that chorus because we're dropping back down the register on the vocals, we're pulling back from the power of the final note in the chorus, we're now in our higher chest voice, and he's adding a shift of emotional character and a new tonal interest in this section because so far we've not heard them singing in this voice. Check it out. Okay, there's a big high note. Okay, there's a voice. Not heard that one so far. One of the many voices, right? Let's stop it there now. Every syllable is emotionally weighted. There's an additional vocal ornamentation at the end of some phrases, like just there. That technique is called a melisma, a vocal melisma. And all that means is that you lengthen a single syllable over multiple notes. Kind of the Mariah Carey thing. That kind of stuff. The drums come in this section. There's a crescendo on the crash cymbal, and then the drums come in. You can hear the drummer is playing the rim shot, which isn't full on going for it. His stick is hitting the rim of the snare drum. It's not hitting the centre, so it's not as in your face. But if you listen to this real nice subtle crescendo on the cymbals, that brings the drums in. Cymbal. Rim shot. Hear it? Bass guitar. A little bit more rhythmic interest. Now the strings. Some really nice counter melodies going on underneath, rising, descending. There's that inverted pedal. Lengthening bar, another bar, tension. Drums into what we're going to call the climatic breakthrough of chorus 2. Now this chorus has much more tension than the first chorus. There's a couple of things I've picked out here. There's another vocal colour introduced here because he actually speaks the first line. It's spoken. Then he's going for these strong belted notes which are resonant and commanding. Now he's using little bits of ornamentation also to enhance the expressiveness of the vocal. This big rock drum fill that brings it in, okay? Now can you hear the strings there? The strings have a digga 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 digga. The strings have a 16th note ostinato, you call it. Now an ostinato is just a repeated phrase, but the strings are kind of doing this. And then they're jumping up. Now that string part itself is adding to the tension. There's another melody in there that's fighting to be heard. Drums. electric guitar, creating a wall of sound. And there's that string pattern, right? You hear it going on in the background? Now, he's also adding ornamentation here. Now, as you just heard there, he's adding in these little bits of vocal ornamentation, extra melismas in there, right? That's just catching your ears this time, and it enhances the vocal expression, right? Let's play it from here. We're about to get this high note. Now, the note he hits this time, that first high note that he's playing where he's going from an E5 to an F sharp 5, da-da, ba-da. He actually jumps right up to an E6. Let's play it from here and check out these high notes because they're ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Ridiculous, right? Just right up there. This ascending melody is pushing up, up, up until it gets to the... It's an octave higher than this, but this guitar runs out of frets. The guitar can't even go that high. He's hitting this C sharp 6, a D6, and an E6, which is just ridiculous. They also add this big reverb to those notes, so you get this nice tail on the end of it. Let's check that out. There's a reverb and a delay. Now, a reverb gives you the sound of being in a certain place. A delay is like an echo. Echo. If you add both onto it, you get this nice ethereal tail. You hear it dropping off there, like he's in a big cave kind of thing. He is in a big stadium, right? Massive chorus 2, just power, emotion driven. Where do you go from here? Because that soaring belt that reaches these heights, do you go higher? No, you do the opposite in your arrangement. Now you go to pure subtlety, which happens here in verse 3. Now, verse 3 is a reintroduction of the initial theme, recapitulation. Verse 3 is the same chords as verse 1. So verse 3, we got a B minor, a G, a B minor, an E minor, then we got a G major 7 type thing, a G add 6, then it's falling down to that F7 sus 4, F sharp 7 sus 4 to the F sharp 7. This section, what they do here as an arranger, what you're trying to create is continual interest, and how you can do that is by using contrast, things that really shift in a song, right? Some bands are brilliant at it. Nirvana made a whole career out of it, right? Quiet into the going for it. We're going from that massive E6 that he just sung all the way down to stark emotional fragility, the way he's singing in this real breathy, delicate resonance to this section here. As far as the other instrumentation in the arrangement go, the piano is playing very high chords. There's lots of space for this quiet vocal dynamic. There's a synth pedal note which is held in this section. You'll hear it come in, and again it's still adding tension in there. So you kind of have this release of the tension of the big chorus before, but the tension's still there. There still is tension. It's not a happy song. A lot of tension in this, right? Now, there is one notable moment I want you to check out. Again, there's tremolando strings that come in halfway through this. Again, it adds classical character and just textural interest. It keeps your ear there, right? It builds texture, right? Let's have a listen to this section. Beautiful. There's those tremolando strings. Now we have entered another pre-chorus before our final chorus, okay? Same chords as the first pre-chorus, B minor, G, F sharp 7 sus 4 to F sharp 7. In this section, there's a lot of rising tension. Now, how do they do that? Well, there's much more vocal, emotional intensity in this part. If we listen to the accompanying instruments in this section, the drums are adding this rhythmic punctuation, providing a real energetic engagement, right? The guitar is going for it. There's a pick scrape on the guitar. Now, a pick scrape is where you take your pick and when it's plugged in, you go. Now, on an acoustic, it don't sound much, but if this is electric, you're really going to hear it. Straight in the chord. Queen moment, right? Big drum fill. It's a pick scrape. Vocal much more intense. He's replacing that high pentatonic motif with head voice this time. Still going up. Ascending. Those chords are descending now. Final dramatic push. Little melisma. That breath is beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Now, what's going on there? When he says the word ter, T-E-R-R-E, he's in full, pure operatic belt at that point. There's no holes barred at that point. I'm sure if he was stood in front of your face, your hair would fly back. Again, there's that final high note. F sharp 5, he's sustaining effortlessly. Perfect intonation. Rising into the head voice, D6, for a descending final melisma over an octave span. Now, let me show you what that is. Let me show you this melisma. There's ter, belting it, right? Head voice, just going for it. Okay, listen. Jumping up. F sharp 5. There we go, that one there. D6. Whole octave span there, right on that melisma, which is brilliant. Again, just this demonstration of this massive voice. No restraint here. Absolutely full wall of sound from the orchestration. Everybody is just big chords at this point, to the point where Phil Spector, who was known as the Wall of Sound, Phil Spector would be going, "Yeah, that's mine. I created that. That's my wall of sound, baby." We descend out of this outro into this gentle closure. A real soft, fading outro. His voice jumps right back down to this soft
falsetto.
There's actually an audible breath on there if you hear it right at the end, which just brings emotional connection. So it's like he's done in. He's just sang his heart out and he's letting out a breath. So it's pure emotional connection at this point. Monophonic at the end. So monophonic means just one instrument. It's just his voice, right? The phrasing is really dragged, which again, it creates that high emotion, high levels of emotion. Sonically electrifying at that point, right? Everybody is just, it's so intense. The final chord is not a major chord and it's not a minor chord. It's a sus2 chord. I'll put in the note that will make it major and minor and you'll get what I mean. But the song ends neither happy nor sad. There's still tension. There's a sus2 chord. So it's not a B minor and it's not a B major, which just adds this great moment of tension even at the end. There is no closure in this track. Let's check it out. Back to head voice. Our little melisma. Cymbal crescendo. Brilliant. You could make it major or minor right at the end. Let's make it minor.
Dimash.
So the way they play it, they don't play it major
Dimash Kudaibergen,
minor.
Kazakhstan.
What a beautiful arrangement. So many devices in there. I think the main theme with that is tension, release, and anticipation. So these different devices that they're using, so adding in instruments, taking them out, using different devices that are really capturing the listener's attention. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown. It's the first one. I'm going to look into how I could change things up. If you've got any ideas yourself that could help me with these type of videos, let me know. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.
Yeah!